There are actually a lot of things that you might think are necessary to start your own one bag life today that are definitely not important at all. That's why in this video you will see the 4 things that you might consider necessary to start your own journey towards a real one bag life today that are actually not necessary at all. And at the end of the video I will give you my best tip on how you can avoid buying those unnecessary things for every kind of lifestyle, even if you're not pursuing a one bag life, so don't miss out. But for everyone who's new to my channel, I'm Sven, just an extreme minimalist with less than 150 possessions, whose biggest desire is to live his whole life out of just one carry-on sized backpack. So if you end up liking the video, don't forget to subscribe and like. But most important, share a comment with your thoughts at the end of the video and join me on my way to a true one bag life and to find out how an extreme minimalist lifestyle looks like. But I would say, let's get started. I think everybody who's watching this video right now actually wants to know what you don't need for such an extreme lifestyle like a one bag life, or maybe already tried an extreme lifestyle and just want to know what he or she can get rid of. And I know from experience, especially with people who are pursuing an extreme lifestyle, they always want to have their things or their belongings as efficient and as purposeful as possible, and sometimes they need some inspiration from other people who are extreme minimalists or living an extreme lifestyle to know what they really need or especially what they want to get rid of. As I said, for me it was definitely the same. First when I started being an extreme minimalist, but then when I started pursuing a one bag life, I often came to the point where I would say I want to make my stuff as efficient and as useful as possible, but I don't know how. Because at some point your own thinking and your own thoughts may be not the same as other people think, so you want to seek for more information, for more inspiration for the things that you need or maybe don't actually need. And that was especially true for the things that I personally thought are absolutely needed for even an extreme lifestyle, but in reality or at the end it turned out you don't really need them at all, even if you're pursuing an extreme lifestyle. But let's talk about the things that you might think are necessary for a true one bag life that are not really as important as you might think. And the first thing you definitely don't need for a true one bag life is maybe the most important thing as well. And in this case, actually, size doesn't matter at all. And that is a suitcase or a bag that is as small or as compact as possible. Because I think most people, when they think about a one bag life, they think about very small bags like cabin-sized bags or even maybe smaller bags that would fit like personal item dimensions when you go on a plane. But I think that can't be further from the truth. Because actually a one bag life have many different, I would say, kinds or aspects to it, and it doesn't mean that you need the smallest bag possible. Actually, a one bag life in a 95-liter bag or suitcase is the same as a one bag life in a maybe 30-liter bag or suitcase. So in the end, the size, as I said, doesn't matter at all. The only thing that will matter is that everything that you need for your personal life will fit into one backpack. Doesn't matter the size. So don't get confused with a one bag life and you see everybody on the internet say, oh, you need a very carry-on sized bag. And I personally would say that a carry-on sized bag or even a smaller bag has a lot of benefits. But I also know that a lot of people wouldn't maybe fit everything they would need for their life into such a small bag with such a small capacity. So don't get frustrated if it would not fit in such a small bag. Just find the right amount or the right amount of liters for yourself and start your one bag life with the size of a bag that you are comfortable with. Other things or a other group of things that you definitely don't need for your own one bag life are products or things that are labeled as travel items, I would say. For example, packing cubes or these travel sheets or travel liners or every kind, I would say, of product that has the name travel inside, like travel pillows. So most of the time, even if you're pursuing a one bag life, doesn't mean you are always traveling. And I personally actually think that most of these travel products are quite unnecessary because you have everything that you need already at your home. So most of the times you don't need like a dedicated travel adapter, maybe you need a small adapter for your existing power plug. So I would say avoid buying just these travel things because they seem maybe a little bit more compact or a little bit more versatile than the things that you have at home, but actually don't matter at all, I would say, because most of the things I bought for myself before I came here to Southeast Asia and traveled in just one bag, most of these travel related items I already sold or gave away. And the same thing goes for expensive clothes, or I rather would say for expensive cloth materials like merino wool. And I know most of the people who are traveling with just one backpack or one bag always tell you about merino and the benefits of merino, that you can pack way less because you don't need to wash the clothes as often. But actually, for my personal opinion, I think yes, I do wear merino a lot. So all of my t-shirts, all of my underwear and all of my hoodies are made of merino. But I actually don't think you need it for a one bag life or even for one bag travel. Because there are a lot of good brands and a lot of good other materials that you can choose from when you go traveling for a longer time, or you choose a wardrobe that would fit into just one bag. So I would say even for most people, the price that you will pay for clothes like merino clothes will be way too high for the benefits of it. So maybe go with cheaper or more normal fabrics, like maybe not directly cotton but some other ones, and save a lot of money by not buying such extreme or premium materials like merino wool. And lastly, and maybe a point that is as important as the point that you don't need like a fancy or very small bag, is that even if you want to pursue a one bag life, don't start from 0 to 100 and directly sell everything that you have except the things that might be fitting inside of one backpack. A one bag life, or the pursuit of a one bag life, is a very, very long journey, and it takes a lot of time to reach the goal, to live your whole life out of just one backpack, doesn't matter which size. And maybe you want to skip like the hard part and just sell everything that you have and buy some new things that will fit inside a bag. But I would definitely say take your time, make the journey, and experience the journey along the way. Because even when I started my own one bag life journey, I changed up a lot of things. I bought some things that I thought are very necessary, and I sold almost all of them and kept a lot of things that I already owned in my bag until today. So definitely don't start from 0 to 100, sell everything that you have. Just take your time, and I would say step by step go over the things that you think are necessary and maybe sell or donate the other things, but not, as I said, everything all at once. As you can see, there might be a lot of things that you would consider are necessary for such an extreme lifestyle like a one bag life that are actually not important at all. And as I said, just start with the things that you already have and take it step by step. So even if you're pursuing or want to pursue an extreme lifestyle like a one bag life, don't try to go all in just from the beginning. So take the journey, or exactly make the journey, take it step by step, sell or donate the things that you don't need and keep the things that are necessary to you at the moment, and try to evaluate at some point in time if they are really necessary in the future or not. But now that you know what the 4 things are that you definitely don't need to start your one bag life today, here is my best tip on how you can avoid buying these unnecessary things for every kind of lifestyle, even if you're not pursuing a one bag life. And the first thing, and the absolute most important thing, and that is also true for an extreme lifestyle as well as for a normal lifestyle, I would say, is that you normally don't need anything to start a new lifestyle, because most of the times you have everything at your place that you need to start a new lifestyle. You always need to make sure that if you want to buy something new, that is always the easy way, I would say, because buying something new is very nice and very thrilling, I would say, especially when you start a new lifestyle, because you might think that you definitely need that thing, but actually you have maybe something at home that is very similar, or maybe not as, I would say, useful at the moment, but you can turn it into something useful even for your new lifestyle. So I would say before you don't get to, I would say, a certain point where you can't go any further with your lifestyle, try to think about the things you already have from your old lifestyle and try to implement them into your new one, so you don't need to spend a lot of money and gather a lot of new things that you maybe don't actually need, because they seem to be a little bit better because they're new, but as I said, you're actually spending just money on things you already have. On the other hand, you can try to have like a waiting period before you buy something new. And that is a thing that a lot of people will tell you, but I actually think it's a very, very powerful tool for yourself, especially when you're starting something new. And I know from my own experience, when I start something new, I want to buy like everything that is needed for that new thing. But if you have, as I said, a waiting period of maybe, I don't know, 1 week, 2 weeks, 1 month before you consider buying something, then you just realize how necessary these things are in general. Because most of the times the thought of something new comes maybe from a new video or some new blog post you read about your lifestyle, and then you think you just need that one thing directly and go to Amazon and get a next day delivery for it. But if you wait 30 days and you realize you even don't think about that thing anymore, then you definitely know it's not as important as you thought. On the other hand, when it's still on your list that you need, you can have a very, very good feeling about buying these things, because after, I would say, a month and you still need that thing should be very, very important to you. The last thing goes a little bit hand in hand with the thing I mentioned before with the waiting period. And that is that you might think about the long-term value of the things that you will buy. And long-term value, I don't mean like the money that you will get back when you sell it. It's actually if it's still necessary in like a month or a year, or I don't know what time period you think about it. So might be considering for every item that you buy, if it's just like an impulse buy right now because you want it right now but don't actually have like a very useful use case for it in 1 month or 1 year, or if it's something that will, I would say, benefit your lifestyle for the next coming time, like the next week, month and years, then I would say it's much more valuable for yourself to consider buying something if it adds still value like in the next 2 or 3 years. But if it's just something that is maybe useful for the next week, I would maybe consider renting it if it's possible, or finding something else that will give you more purpose, even if it's in like a multi-purpose item. If you liked the video, don't forget to subscribe and like, but most important, share a comment down below with the things you thought are very necessary to your own lifestyle that are not necessary at all. The next video will be about the main challenges on your way to a true one-bag life. In the meantime, you can watch my last video where I show you the 5 things that you definitely need to start your one-bag life today. And as always, thank you so much for watching, and I see you in the next video.